A stunner tonight in the town of Villa Rica.
I'll say the man in charge of helping find a new city manager is himself out of a job tonight after allegations surfaced that he was systematically trashing the applications of candidates because they were either black or had a military background.
Now, all this came to light after an open records request from Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis. This is truly shocking.
It is, Sanae and Rush. Yeah, we acted on a tip. We asked to see all documents involved in the hiring process of the new city manager of Villa Rica. They've not chosen anyone yet, and good thing, says the mayor, after seeing what we uncovered.
I remember chills going down my back thinking, how could this happen?
Mayor Jeff Reese presides over a town of 14,000 people, Villa Rica, the city of riches, straddling the Carroll and Douglas County line. More than a third of the population here is black.
Is Villa Rica ready for a black city manager?
Absolutely.
City manager's report, Mr. Jackson.
But the man in charge of finding a new Villa Rica city manager was not so certain. Mike Jackson became the interim city manager in early March, helping screen applications for the permanent position. He was not a candidate himself.
We will take the final group and give them to the council for their interview process and their decisions.
But that same day, March 7th, according to these documents obtained by the Fox 5 I-Team, Mike Jackson told Villa Rica Human Resources Director Stephanie Rooks that Villa Rica was not ready for a black city manager and did not want to get their hopes up by interviewing them. These are the notes Ms. Rooks took that she says summarizes their conversations. March 21st, Jackson handed an application back to me with a yellow sticky note with "no" written on it. When it was handed back, he made the comment that he was black. She says he also wanted to screen out all military applicants due to the fact that, in his experience, they were all abrupt and too stringent. The Human Resources Director noted that Jackson was conducting internet research or scanning resumes to determine race or veteran status through professional experience or affiliations. After learning about our open records request, Mayor Reese called Jackson into his office, concerned about the black city manager comments.
And I said, did you say it? And he said, well, I answered a question, but yes, I said it.
Where in the world would he get the idea that Villa Rica is not ready for a black city manager?
I'm not really sure. I wish, in hindsight, I wish I'd asked that question. And he said, well, Mr. Mayor, he said, I think I'm just going to go ahead and resign and go play golf.
And that's exactly what he did. When we tried reaching Mike Jackson, he emailed back saying he'd been on the golf course. He denied dismissing anyone with a military record and said that the idea of Villa Rica not being ready for a black city manager came not from him, but from the Human Resources Director, Stephanie Rooks. In fact, he said the mayor told him as he was leaving City Hall for the last time, "Mike, it is clear to me that you have been set up by Stephanie." But the mayor says that quote is not true. Why? Because he says he does not think that at all.
Mike Jackson came to Villa Rica highly recommended by City Attorney David Mecklin, teaching for years at the Carl Vinson Institute of Government at the University of Georgia.
Sometimes it's best to get some outside help in doing things like this.
Well, he was from the outside.
I know, but he was the wrong outside.
Shirley Marchman is the second African American ever elected to the Villa Rica City Council. Her father was the first.
I'm not one of those that just say hire black because they're black, just because. But if they are qualified, I think that they should be given the chance of everybody else.
My understanding is that we've received in somewhere around 130 different applications at this point in time.
The search is back on. Last week, council members received 14 applications that met all their criteria for a city manager. Race is not on that list.
Quite frankly, if they're from Mars, I really don't care. I just want a qualified candidate to come to us and to help us to lead the city forward.
Well, I talked to Stephanie Rooks today regarding Jackson's comments that concerns about a black city manager came from her, not him. She denied it, says she's appalled at what he said then and is saying now. She says after 23 years of working in human resources, her standards and integrity are very important to her. And by the way, we have posted all of her notes and Mr. Jackson's complete email response to my questions on our website, fox5atlanta.com.
Now that's going to be very interesting to read through. So you mentioned there are 14 finalists. Is that the final pool of who will be considered?
I think some more are going to be added to that. That's the tier 1. That's everybody who's met all the criteria. There's going to be a tier 2 that meets some of the criteria, and that the city council members are going to look at that as well. In that first tier, the 14 applicants, I'm told, Ms. Rooks told me that 3 of those are black. So those 3 were not in the original pile that was going to be submitted to the city council. They are now.
Well, like the mayor said, get the most qualified person, irrespective of race.
No matter where they're from.
There you go. Randy, thanks very much.
Thanks, Randy.